So I think we can pretty much see those. I'll move it back a tiny bit. So we are reading these cards down the columns, and we start with the first column on the left-hand side with the Queen of Cups, the Temple Path, and Be Yourself. Now, interesting, all of the middle row cards, which are these ones through here, are really rather spiritual and talking to us a lot about changes in your perception of who you are and where you might be headed, and obtaining some higher connection to your soul's journey in life. Now, often when this happens to us, it can be very, not confrontational, but it can be very life-changing, and we can gain so much greater insight. We find periods of bliss and euphoria because we're actually connecting with what our soul came here to do. And you find this at kind of like places in your mind or your being where you can't necessarily put a finger on it, but there seems to be a degree of greater connection to something and more inner happiness often. So the reading here could be quite interesting, but these ones right in the middle, as I say, this row, seem quite poignantly pointing out a lot of spiritual growth and movement. Starting back with the Queen of Cups, she does exude the energy of the water sign energy, and that is often about the contemplative thought processes or feelings and connections of love and reflection and passion and feeling, in the heart, like just the admiration and support and gentleness around the energy of love. And then the Temple Path is again talking to us about your journey of understanding where you are in your spiritual life. And the Temple Path, you probably can't see it, but it has the yin yang symbol in it, and then it's kind of transferred over here to a very similar symbol. So it says to you that when the Temple Path appears, it's a time for you to understand realization at a much higher level, that you have this magnificent journey that you are here to walk through, and as you do, to be enlightened and to feel the connection of wonder and power and magic through internal knowledge and the energies of the higher vibrational energies of things like love and happiness, peacefulness, tolerance, understanding, all of those positives. And then down here, to connect with it on the last one, it says be yourself. And it says this situation calls for you to be your authentic self, which is the basis for your personal power. And the Temple Path is an acclamation of your personal power. You walk up through the steps into this amazing golden lit temple that you walk through. So a powerful way for you to start the month of February with some sort of inner connection to the ethos and to love and understanding that portal. And often this starts with self-love. So this is where it could be emanating from. The other thing too is that this could be about a relationship that creates this feeling of euphoria or bliss, and it may be involving someone like the Queen of Cups. We come to the next card there, and we have the next row, we have the Five of Cups, then Yin Yang, then your wish is granted. And this one down the bottom says you've got what you've asked for is coming true. Now the Five of Cups seems a bit of a sad card, emanating feelings of loss, and often around the things that made us feel love. So whether it was relationships or projects that we had invested a great deal of time and energy into, some of it is ebbing away. So sometimes this is because you're moving on, and sometimes we don't even know why. We just go, oh, I'm not interested anymore, and I'm kind of sad that I'm not, but I feel removed from it. I feel as though I no longer am as attracted to it or as interested in it. Sometimes it can be people who move away from you, possibly friends or siblings or lovers, or even jobs maybe that you were invested in, or maybe even a business that you've been invested in. But underneath, the yin yang is telling us it's all about cycles of life and balance. There's always black and white, day and night, male and female. And the yin yang cycles are evolutionary, and they are, again, taking us on each portal of growth as we move through life, experiencing, understanding, culminating more knowledge and awareness. The yin-yang in itself is often telling us about, in the upright position, it heralds the yin cycle, where most of the action seems to be happening under the surface of things. So sometimes that's right, these things are happening without your full awareness or understanding or comprehension, but it's going to be arriving and it's going to be happening. It's a time of great receptivity and intuition and gestation. External circumstances may be forcing you to go within and examine your present activity. It's an especially good time for contemplation and for wrapping things up. So the 5 of Cups up the top may be saying to you, it is time to wrap up this thing, project or people or situation that you now need to move on from. And your wish is granted down the bottom. Sometimes we feel sad if we're moving on from something, and sometimes we don't necessarily think that's what we wanted to do, but somewhere along the line it is a wish that you are moving or freeing yourself up from something that's been holding on to you and preventing your growth from coming forward. So we move to the third one and we see the Hierophant. He is often associated with very strong rules and regulations and religious indoctrination. He has a sort of a crescent moon thing hanging around his neck, which could be symbolic of the new moon on January the 15th. He also has those keys at the bottom of his feet. So it's something about having the answers to new doors opening, unlocking situations in your life. It does tell you at this time that it can be prudent to do things legally and be law-abiding. For some of you, this could also be a new interest in philosophical or esoteric or religious beliefs, and some of you may go back to reviewing these things in your life or attending events in places that hold this type of information. Some of you may be learning about the philosophies of life or esoteric teachings or knowledge or uplifting them. And then we come to the card underneath, which is the 7th chakra, Archangel Uriel. And again, she is the stimulator of the top of the head, the crown chakra, which is often where association of things like esoteric knowledge and religious perspectives come from. So this chakra is being awakened for you, and that was more about this whole spiritual journey and awareness through that middle row. She is the pinnacle of connection to source energy, to understanding what the cosmos is about and understanding how to harness those energies and knowledges. So opening your clairvoyant and psychic pathways, becoming more intuitive and listening to your inner voice, experiencing more synchronistic energies and events as well. It's also telling you down the bottom, a new way of eating gives you more energy, greater health, clarity, and stronger manifestation abilities. So we know that eating healthy, fresh, vegetarian, organic type food is very beneficial for the body, and this can be an extremely good portal for opening up things like the crown chakra and any of the chakras. So the more we eat those type of foods, the more power we give ourselves to experience these energies and these situations that are occurring in our life. But I do think for you guys, this is quite a powerfully spiritual month going on here. Some of you are literally being like kapow, awakened at a great level. We come to this one over here and we see the Page of Rods, then the fifth chakra, Archangel Gabriel, that's the 5th chakra in the throat, and debt paid off. Now they're an interesting bunch of cards. They seem quite discombobulated from each other. The Page of Rods often insinuates youthfulness and new ideas and quickly coming in and at the creative level. Sometimes this can be the offer of a new job coming. So if you're looking out there for jobs and putting your CVs out, this could be a worthy time. Some of you might be contemplating leaving an old job and starting a new one. That's also what he means. Some of you could find this page walking into your life. So he's a new person, an air sign like yourself, or possibly he's already a sibling or a child or a friend, and somehow he stirs up a creative resonance in your thought paths. So he helps creativity and he helps the flourish of ideas and new directions. He sets himself heading into the month of March, by the look of him, with youthful occupation and youthful creative source, inspiration. Archangel Gabriel down here with the throat chakra. This is all about communication and voicing your ideas out. So getting your thought form into the physical plane, being able to pass it on to someone either at the written level or at the verbalized level. For some of you, this can literally mean too that there is a need to have a look at the throat chakra. Either physically, you might have like tonsillitis or swollen glands or a sore throat or a flu. Others of you might need to have things like your thyroid checked, because that's in the throat gland as well. Some of you might need work done on that chakra, so eating blue foods or wearing blue coloured clothes or meditating with Archangel Gabriel will help expand your communication abilities and therefore help enable you to get ideas across or apply for new jobs. These ideas, they might be around your career sector, and you might be needing to find a new project that you've been told to fulfill or follow up on. And at the end, we have the debt paid off. The old weight and habit of debt is lifted from you and your life. So if you had got yourself into some sort of financial bind or grind, or if you were lacking a little bit in money, not a lot else in the cards have even mentioned money. But we get to this very last card at the end of the reading, and they suddenly just throw that on in there, and they go, yep, well, don't forget, your money's not doing too bad either. So something throughout the passage of the month, and maybe the way you handle the situations, and maybe the knowledge and information you learn, enables you to understand about how to manage your finances, or how to find a way to pay off a debt that you have been looking after or watching over. Someone may grant you something or loan you something to pay the debt off, or you may find yourself coming into some small gratuity or inheritance, or maybe some of you haven't even had a job and this is the opportunity of a new job coming. And that's how those three work together. And so once you start getting money coming in, you're able to be a bit more financially independent again. So there you are, you guys, Leos, Leo the lion, king of the beast, king of the forest. You have quite an empowering reading and quite a spiritual one. There are, of course, the other things going on in with it as well. So focus on whichever card you find yourself most attracted to and see what further information it will lead you down the path of for the month of February. Thank you for listening. Thank you for subbing and liking and leaving your comments. I really love reading them all, and when I can, I reply back.